Lindsay's with us in Columbia, South Carolina. Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
Hey, Dave. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Yeah, so I just recently got engaged, and my fiance and I have been following your baby steps for a few years now. We are debt-free. So now we are now planning and budgeting for the wedding, which we will be able to cash flow.
Phenomenal.
But I am finding myself having a lot of guilt over spending the money on the wedding. We are both anticipating we are going to need new cars soon. We're at the phase of our life where we'd like to start saving for a down payment. I don't want to gyp myself of the wedding that I want, but I am having shame about wanting to spend so much money.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be shameful or guilt-inducing unless it is too much money. And the way how do we say too much money? It's in relative terms to your situation. Okay, if you make $2 million a year and you want to spend 50 grand on a wedding, that's not too much. If you make $40,000 a year and you want to spend 50 grand on a wedding, you're crazy. So what is it you want to spend on the wedding?
I think it's going to be about 25 to 30 grand tops.
Nice wedding. And what is your income?
Household income is probably about $90,000.
Well, there's not a household yet, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, that would be the numbers we're dealing with anyway. So, well, the average household income in America right now is about $70,000, and the average wedding is about $25,000.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so that's the average, but we do want to keep in mind that normal is broke, so we don't necessarily want to aim at average, but the point of that is you're not completely out of control, but now you start to make value judgments and go, every $5,000 I cut this accelerates the other goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the trade-off that you're going to make the rest of your life. If I spend money on A, I don't have it for B. It's called opportunity cost.
And that's what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have the wedding. And
so
then
what
right after
what I
the
want
wedding,
you to do is set a number, stick to that number, and never struggle again.
Okay.
Now, you should, I do want some of this negative emotion to keep you from overspending your budget.
Mm-hmm.
And so what would I do if I woke up in your shoes? I would probably say, I just don't feel okay about 25. Because you're not feeling okay about it. By the way, I'm kind of keying off of that, okay? Mm-hmm. It wasn't like you're going, this is because, let me just tell you, the difference in a $20,000 wedding and $25,000 wedding, no one that visits will know.
That's a napkin arrangement.
Yeah. That's the chairs you chose for the reception, I mean, oh my God. So, and then when you start laying out the actual wedding budget, so you put a big number on it, and then you say, based on that, I'm going to spend X on the videos and pictures. I'm going to spend Y on the dress. I'm going to spend Z on the reception. I'm going to, and every one of the band, the DJ, the preacher, the whatever, and you just line item this out like it's a project because I'm sorry, darling, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you stick to that. You say, okay, I've got this much budgeted for catering. And they go, well, you can't get the sushi if you do that. Well, then we won't be having sushi, darling. So this, no is a possible answer to some of these questions. And so, right. But the thing that will give you great peace and no guilt is if you'll set a number, detail it out, and then stick to it, you'll never think about it again. But if it's constantly floating around and you feel like then I can buy happiness or I can buy joy for $3,000 more, you're not going to find it there. It's not there. And it's a wonderful thing to have we have big parties. We're Ramsey's, man. We like to party. All of our weddings were huge. We love big weddings and everybody dancing and good food. And, man, it's a fun time. And it is one day and it's gone. It does evaporate, but so is travel or so is other things we spend money on. So, right. But there is you do know there is no correlation between the size of the wedding budget and the success of the marriage, though, right?
Yes.
If anything, there might be a negative correlation.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm just glad we're not going into debt for it, but I do have that guilt
you don't have to say I'm not glad. I chose not to go into debt for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like being a grown-up and stuff here.
Yeah.
Is the person you're about to marry, are they guilt-tripping you? Or saying,
No,
man, if we weren't
no,
doing a wedding like this, like, where's this guilt coming from?
Me, I guess because we have worked so hard the last few years to pay off our debt, and now we're finally in a really good financial spot.
So are you kind of a
we're
tightwad
both-
and you have trouble enjoying money?
Yes, and I'm worried that after the wedding, our cars are going to go, and we're going to need
They are.
to
They
buy a
are
new car.
100% chance. And you
On
know what?
on the honeymoon, one of them's going to fry.
In 15 years, it'll be a funny footnote to a great wedding.
Yeah.
Let this be a great experience for you. You worked so hard so that
Mm-hmm.
you could honor this.
I like that.
This cool ceremony, right? That's why you're going to work so hard after this wedding. You're going to get new cars so that you don't end up on the side of the road. You're going to work really hard to pay off your house so that you can give recklessly to people in your community. You're going to do these things so that, right? And y'all have worked really hard to get right here.
I would challenge you to dial it down to 20.
Absolutely. 18.5. Come up with a number. Yeah.
And then just lock it in and go, based on that, I've got to do the dress this way. Based on that, I've got to do the catering this way. Based on that, I got to have friends go pick some daisies out of the farmer's field because we don't have money for a florist. Based on that, I don't know what it is. But, I mean, I've had folks on this team in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, many, many, many of them have had some incredible weddings for under 10 grand.
Yeah.
But it involved
Stunning.
it involved friends pitching in, moms cooking stuff for the reception. I mean, it involved all kinds of different things you can do. You don't have to do that. You're not doing anything morally wrong or financially wrong if you just say the budget's 20 and we're going to hire it all out. That's okay. But my point is that you can have a really nice wedding for $20K.
And one thing that helps me in these moments of spend and feel guilty is if you had this $25,000 budget and you decide to roll it down to $18,500. Make sure you take that gap money and you apply it to one of these things on the back end. Like, I'm going to use this for a car. I'm going to use this for one of those things. And so you'll feel like you're getting ahead and you're getting this great wedding. But
Yeah.
I'm like you, Dave. I've seen some pretty inventive and creative weddings over the last couple of years because of COVID, and they're awesome. And they're all still married, and they're not $100,000 in the hole.
No, you don't. You don't borrow for a wedding. No. But she's not doing that. She's not doing that. What a great young lady. Very
Incredible.
Cool.